Hi, I'm Hannah Richardson, and this is I Want to Know Videos. In this episode, we'll be exploring moon phases in 80s sci-fi movies.
First, let's explore the moon's phases and how they occur. Half of the moon is lit by the sun at all times. How much of the lit half we see depends on the moon's phase. The first phase, new moon, occurs when the moon is between the sun and Earth and the half facing away from Earth is lit. During this phase, you will not be able to see the moon because the half facing us is dark. It rises at 6 a.m. and sets at 6 p.m. The next phase is the waxing crescent moon. This phase occurs when the half of the moon facing Earth is only partially lit on the right side. It rises around 9 a.m. and sets around 9 p.m. The magic third phase is first quarter, which occurs when the moon has gone a quarter around its orbit. This visible part of the moon looks like a semicircle on the right side. The first quarter moon rises at noon and sets around midnight. Next is the waxing gibbous phase. More than half of the Earth-facing side is lit up on the right. It rises at 3 p.m. and sets at 3 a.m. The fifth phase, my favorite spooky, full moon. It occurs halfway through its orbit, so the half of the moon that is lit by the sun is the same half that faces the Earth. The full moon rises at 6 p.m. and sets at 6 a.m. Moving on to number next, we have the waning gibbous moon. It looks like the waxing gibbous moon, but is lit up on the left side. It rises at 9 p.m. and sets at 9 a.m. The lucky seventh phase is third quarter. The moon is now 3/4 through its orbit, appearing as a semicircle again, but on the left half. It rises at midnight and sets at noon. The last phase before coming full circle in its orbit and back to new moon is waning crescent. Yes, you guessed it. It looks like a waxing crescent, but is lit up on the left side. The waning crescent rises at 3 a.m. and sets at 3 p.m. The moon completes its cycle every month and does not appear the same on consecutive nights.
Now to apply this knowledge to E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. Our first look at the moon is during the first night in the movie. And look, here it is, a waning crescent, so it must be after 3 a.m. Looks like everybody is up way past their bedtime. Now the next look at the moon is on the same night, just a few minutes later, but look, the crescent is larger. This is a problem for two reasons. One, the moon does not change shape during a single night. And two, it is a waning crescent, so it should be getting smaller over the course of 3 or 4 nights until it becomes new moon and it's no longer visible. This next shot of the moon also appears to be on the same night, a few hours later after everyone has gone to bed. Sure enough, there it is, still a crescent moon, just a little higher in the sky. But the problem is, we get a view of the clock just before Elliot goes outside, and it's only 2 a.m. So the moon should not be up yet, which means it shouldn't have been up in the previous 2 shots either. On the very next night, as far as I can tell, we get a view of the waning crescent moon. It seems to be as small a sliver again as it was in the first scene, though it should be smaller. At least it isn't bigger like it is in the second scene. We also don't have any indication of what time it is, so no complaints there. This next look at the moon is on the third or fourth night, still a waning crescent moon. This is pushing it to have not changed phase yet. New moon should probably have been tonight. It is possible though, so we'll let this one slide. Our final view of the moon in the movie is on the 5th or 6th night, just a little after sunset. And wow, look at that! It's a full moon, abnormally large. Okay, full moon rises around 6 p.m., so it's all good there. But remember, after waning crescent is new moon. We shouldn't be able to see the moon for sure on this night, and there shouldn't be a full moon for another 2 weeks. Even if I miscalculated a few days, perhaps there were no important scenes for a few of the movie's days, it is very fairly certain to not have skipped over 2 weeks.
I hope you all enjoyed that. My name is Hannah Richardson, and I'll see you all in the next video.